once the government is formed, I would make a distinction here between domestic policy and foreign policy. And on the domestic front, I think the first issue that will have to be tackled by this new government it relates to the floods. The second element, I think, which should be a priority for this government, is I think pertains to the economic situation in the country. And I think there's an urgent need for the authorities in Bosnia to address the economic situation and seek to stimulate economic growth. And I really wish that this government and this new government would be able to convene all levels of government in the private sector and establish a clear way forward, an economic plan for the country. And this plan should identify which sectors in Bosnia offer potential for growth and should then delineate the roles of each levels of government and of other actors to support these sectors of growth. We've read in the last few weeks in the media many stories about small and medium enterprises in Bosnia that are quite successful in producing and manufacturing auto parts for European companies, or some groups who are also providing support, IT support to IT startups here in the United States. And I think the government has to focus on these sectors of growth because this is the future. And either through tax incentives or by investing in education or making sure that the education system can supply skilled workers for these sectors of growth. There are a number of things that can be done by all levels of government in order to stimulate economic growth in the country. And I think the state level government has a leadership position to assume there. And I think through its convening power, I think it should energetically address the economic situation in the country. So I think those, for me, are the two first priorities that should be on the agenda of the new sitting government. I think people have seen enough obstacles, and politicians got a very clear signal this year that the expectations of the public are pressing, and they're getting more and more pressing. So it is a choice that they make to either talk about secession from Bosnia or the creation of a third entity, or to talk about the real problems and to talk about the economic conditions. And I really hope that there will be a political price to be paid by parties or politicians who refuse to tackle normal subjects of governance like the economy or social conditions of people in Bosnia. Politics always interfere in economic policies. If you look at the situation here in Washington, D.C., the Obama administration's capacity to tackle the recovery here was very much influenced by pressure put on the administration by the Republican Party and the Tea Party faction. So I think any country goes through this, and politics always have had an impact on the ability of governments to manage economic policy. But that being said, there's also a political price to be paid. What I find worrying is that despite all the demonstrations this year, that the electorate doesn't seem to have imposed a high political price on people who are in power. And I really hope that the next 4 years will be a test case for politicians, and that people will be increasingly willing to put pressure on their government and to hold them accountable.